Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day, brings you all this content for absolutely nothing, guys. All you got to do is hit the sub, ring the notification bell, set it to all, and then you'll never miss out on the free content. We don't charge you. We're not a Patreon site. We're not going to charge you $1.99, $2.99, whatever a month to access the content. It is free. Daily content, updates, statements, breaking news, podcasts, live streams, all for the grand price of $0 in a time when everything costs a fortune. Well, we're going to talk today about a number of different topics. We're going to talk about Ianis Hagi as he departs the club and what a classy guy he is, and how, even though this is a loan move, I think this is a farewell, not just a goodbye to Ianis. We're also going to look ahead to Wednesday night's game against PSV Eindhoven, with Tom Lawrence's comments around that as well. Guys, it has been a pretty crazy week for Rangers, hasn't it? The game against PSV on Tuesday, which I watched and listened to in Italy, seems a lifetime ago now, that 2-2 draw. Then obviously the 2-0 win this weekend over Ross County with a fine performance, first half performance, which is probably domestically our best performance of the season. Goals coming from that man himself, Mr. James Tavernier. What a goal, what a finish by Tav, and the returning Kemar Roof with a fantastic finish as well, proving, I think, beyond the shadow of a doubt that he is the best finisher at the club by far. But news yesterday that Ianis Hagi has officially left the club. It was revealed on the club's Twitter account and on the club's website that Ianis is moving away from Rangers and he is heading to Deportivo Alaves in the Spanish La Liga. Alaves, who were promoted to La Liga last season, currently sit around mid-table. I think it's 9th and 11th, I think, at time of recording. Recently beat the UEFA Cup, the Europa Cup, Europa League winners, Sevilla, in a fantastic 4-3 game. Alaves are a team that, I've got a bit of a history. I remember them playing in a Europa League final, or UEFA Cup final as it was then, against Liverpool in what was pretty much a thriller in that game. But Alaves are a very ambitious team moving forward and have secured the services of Ianis Hagi on a season-long loan. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, and Ianis is, I don't know, he's someone again. You know what? All our players, I think, with the exception of perhaps Cantwell, Raskin, maybe Butland as well, kind of divide the fan base, don't they? There is over a lot of players, over Tav, over Goldson, over Lundstrom, over Hagi, over Dessers, over Danilo, over Matondo. There is a division, I think, of the fans. There are those who think they are brilliant, and there's those that think they're not very good and, shouldn't be at the club. Ianis is a fine player. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying this just because Victoria likes him. Now, that was one thing I was accused of, which I thought was out of order during the week, just because I was defending Ianis Hagi because Victoria likes him. No, I'm not. Ianis Hagi is a good player. He's a quality player. Yes, he's had a very difficult, 12 to 18 months with his ACL injury and all that time out that he missed. But Ianis was fantastic during the 55 season. I think it was 23 goal contributions in 48 games. He was brilliant during that season and helped us to win the league. He was great in the Europa League run as well. There was going back to the Brøndby game, he was fantastic. The Braga game, fantastic. He reserves some of his great performances for Europe because that was, I don't know, perhaps European football is what suits him, that style of football. Ianis has a great eye for a pass. He's composed. He's just a very, very good footballer, all-round, very skilled footballer. And I'm not going to pretend that I don't think we're going to miss him. I think we will miss him. I think he's a very fine footballer. I think he was a great option as well, to bring into the team. I think he could have done a good job in the Champions League if we were to qualify, or even the Europa League. I think he, could have played a part in the league games as well and in the cup games. But now he's gone, and we've got to kind of move on from that. And Rangers have done a great bit of business, in my opinion. The offer, I mean, Maccabi Haifa came in with a last minute bid to try and secure the services of Ianis Hagi, and the bid was 2.5 million. Now, for me, that is nowhere near enough to get a player of the talent of Ianis Hagi. Ianis Hagi is, joined Rangers for 3 million after that initial loan, and to me, he's worth anything between 5 and 7 after a good season. And I think the bit of business that we've done in sending him to Alaves, I think is very clever indeed. If he goes there, if he impresses, if he plays well, if he has a good season and looks good, and I think Spanish football will suit Ianis Hagi. It's slower than British football. It's very much passing based. It's very much possession based. All of which I think will suit Ianis a great deal more than the rough and tumble and the physicality of the Scottish Premier League. And I think that he can shine in this football, and this will enable us, I think, to get a better price for him. But I can hear what you're saying. Hang on, Owen. What about the fact that it's only a loan? And it's not a loan to buy. It's just a loan move. Is he not coming back to Rangers? Well, look, I highly doubt that Ianis Hagi will ever return to Rangers. I think this move is all about maximising his value and getting more money for him. Ianis Hagi made a classy statement on Instagram, on his Instagram account. And I think this kind of shows that he will not be here much longer. And this is just the end of his time at Rangers, that he is not going to be a Rangers player after this season ends. This is what Ianis said on his Instagram account. He says, Jers, where should I start? I was just a kid signing for this amazing, unique football club. And my dream was to represent the club in the best way possible on the European stage and deliver trophies, because ultimately that's what I thought will make me fall in love with the club and make me happy. Well, I managed to do that, but that wasn't it. It was you, the fans, the unconditional support, the pressure, the songs, the travelling, and most importantly, the way you defended our home, Ibrox. The one stadium in the world that can fly for a full 90 minutes. Ibrox, baby. It's just different. This is definitely not a goodbye. We'll meet again someday, I'm sure. But until then, go smash it. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Love, Ianis. Well, I've got to say, what a statement. What a classy guy. If you compare that with the statements that were made by so-called, ex-club greats like Morelos and Kent, who didn't really seem bothered about leaving Rangers, this is pure class from Ianis Hagi. The statement is just absolutely superb. And what he says, he's got a clear love for the club, a love for the fans, a praise for the fans, the Ibrox, Fortress Ibrox feeling to it. And what he says as well, this is definitely not a goodbye. We'll meet again someday, I'm sure. But until then, go smash it. To me, it sounds like a goodbye forever, not just a goodbye for a season. It sounds like a goodbye permanently. It sounds like an adieu to the Rangers fans. And the comment that one day we'll meet again, sounds like it's not anything imminent. He's not going to return within a season. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger. The fact that he's saying there that, look, he was a Rangers player. He will be a Rangers person forever, but he will not be a Rangers player for next season. And I think Ianis, we've seen the last of Ianis in the royal blue jersey of Glasgow Rangers. I think he is going to leave. I think this is it. And I think Rangers have done the right thing. They will hopefully maximise his value if he has that good season we expect he will do at Deportivo Alaves in La Liga. I wish him all the best. Of course, I wish him all the best. Ianis is a great footballer. He served the club well, and I don't get the people that criticise him. I think he's done brilliantly for the club, and I wish him all the very best for the future. Brand Hagi is going to Alaves, and I'm sure it will be fantastic out there. Now, let's move it on from Ianis Hagi, or else I'm going to cry. I am going to cry. I'm going to miss Ianis. My heart goes out to Ianis, and I'm sure Victoria is feeling it over there in Canada, the absence of Mr. Ianis Hagi. We will be talking about that on the podcast tonight, and I'll try not to make our Victoria cry. Now, the focus obviously turns now. Yes, I know. It's Sunday. It's coming. The old firm is coming. And we'll get to that. Don't you worry. We'll get to that. But the focus is PSV. this Champions League game coming up on Wednesday, this huge Champions League game that is approaching at speed. And you know what's great about this game? It's that, you know what, the pressure's not on us at all. The pressure's on them. The pressure is all about what they're going to do, because they're expected to beat us. Look, they are. It's 2-2. They're expected to go to the Philips Stadion, and everyone says they're a better team than us. Everyone says they've got better players than us, and everyone reckons they're going to beat us. And you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. I really think that we can go over there and we can surprise them. We did it last season. We did it. We can do it again. They're not a great team. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. And I think they are stronger than last year's team. But, you know, the comments they've made will inspire Rangers. The stupid comments that some of them like Veerman have made. The fact that, you know, Peter Bosz said they were playing flat out on Tuesday at Ibrox. Well, if that's flat out, we kind of dealt with them, and we actually were unlucky not to come away with a victory. So for me, you know, there's a chance there to actually beat them, and there is a real opportunity, I think, to put them to the sword and knock them out of the Champions League again. They haven't been overly successful against us in the past, have they now? So for me, it really is a good opportunity to knock them out. Now, Tom Lawrence has been commenting, excuse me, about this game and talking about his desire, even though he is not obviously going to take part in the game on Wednesday because he was injured when the squad was selected. He's talked about the fact that he is desperate for another crack at the Champions League, and that he really wants Rangers to get there, and Rangers to, you know, give him the chance, the players to give him the chance to come into the European squad, obviously post qualification. And the group stage draw is actually on Thursday. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we could talk about that draw with Rangers in that Champions League draw? That would be absolutely superb. But, you know, Tom Lawrence has been chatting about this game, and he has been chatting about the fact that he wants to get into the Champions League again. He wants another crack at it after the disappointment of last season. Obviously, his injury keeping him out long term. Now, what did Tom have to say in his interview that he gave to the media? He says, we play for Rangers and we want to win every game. That should be our thoughts first and foremost. And that's correct. That's great to hear him talking about the fact that, you know, when you're a Rangers player, it's all about winning. It's not about a draw. It's not about getting, you know, having a creditable defeat to someone. It's about going out there and winning for this club. He says, look, I'm pretty positive the lads can do it on Wednesday night. PSV are a good team with a lot of quality. We knew that beforehand, and it was the same as last year when they also had that quality. But I think we've got a lot of quality, and that's the main thing. Hopefully the lads can get through onto Wednesday, and I can play a part in the games this time. The club is on the verge of it again. One big performance can take us back. We've done it once, so why can't we do it again? A lot of people have had bad injuries, but I love to play in the Champions League. I'm not going to hide that, but I'm pretty positive that the lads can do it on Wednesday. What will I be like watching? Hopefully, we can get an early goal. I can be nice and relaxed. I'll be honest, I'm not a good watcher. I just want to be out there helping the lads. Look, I'm always supportive of the lads. I'm 29 now. I've been through the young steps in my career, and I know how much support helps the lads. And I think, you know, it's great to hear Tom talking like that, talking very positively, talking, you know, about wanting to be in the Champions League, wanting another opportunity to get there and prove that last season was a blip, and that, you know, that we're not going to go down that same route again of being humiliated on a regular basis as we were in the Champions League last season. I don't think for a minute that will happen. I think, you know, under Michael Beale, who's more tactically astute with a better set of players, set of players that are more able to play in Europe, I don't think we will get absolutely smashed. Look, do I think we'll qualify for the next knockout stages? Probably not. Will we win it? Of course we won't. You know, there's teams like, let's face it, there's Real Madrid, there's Bayern Munich, there's Manchester City. You know, awesome teams, absolutely superb teams, and we just don't have the players or the finances to compete with them. But look, a decent Champions League run, a third place finish, a Europa League after Christmas, it all generates brilliant income, which the club need to keep pace with that lot from across the city. So Tom, I think, is pretty much spot on in what he has to say. Now, PSV Eindhoven will come out and attack us. They love to get their fullbacks forward. They love to go at the opposition. Now, I think it's important that we include wide players on Wednesday and really get at their fullbacks and pin their fullbacks back. That, I think, will greatly help with actually defending, because, they do like to push that fullbacks forward. They do like to come as a 5. I think we can do that. And the more, we kind of get Bakayoko working backwards to try and help out rather than go forward, the better for the club. Now, this is the lineup that I have chosen if I was choosing the team. And again, like I said, you might say, thank God you're not choosing the team, Ren. But this is my selection. I think the back 4, picks itself. It's James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, Jack John Suter, and Borna Barisic. We haven't got much else. That is our best back 4. That's the best defenders we've got. We've got to go with them. Jack Butland has been fantastic so far this season in goal. For me, he's got to play, and he will be, I think, superb, and he will play a critical role in this game in keeping us in the game. Midfield 3, I would put Jack back in as that defensive shield. I think he needs to be there. He is the best defensive midfielder at the club. He does give the fullbacks cover to get forward. He does also, drop in. He does shield. He is the best defensive midfield option we have, and then that frees Nicholas Raskin to not only help defend but also get forward. Cantwell forms my midfield 3. Now I'm going to go with 2 wide players either side of Danilo. Yes, Danilo, not Dessers. You know my feelings on Dessers, but Danilo, some people have criticised his size and his physical build against PSV, but you've got to remember he had success against them last year for Feyenoord, so I hope that he can do that again. So that's why I would start with Danilo. I push Sima out wide right and Matondo out wide left. They're going to come forward. They're going to come at us. Sima and Matondo have pace to run in behind. They've also got the pace and the skill to trouble their 2 fullbacks and pin their fullbacks back. That's why I would put 2 wide players out there. Use Sima as a wide man rather than as a through-the-middle striker, giving us width to the team, giving us ability to pin them back and really frustrate that 5-man attack they come with against our back 4. So you've got to fight fire with fire. And I think that is the best way for me to fight fire with fire. Well, guys, let me know, what would your lineup be for Wednesday night in Eindhoven? And we will obviously continue to build up towards that game. And we'll continue, obviously, to build up towards the big one, the first Old Firm game of the season, which happens on Sunday as Rangers take on Celtic at Ibrox, in what is a game we've got to win, to fight, to really push them back. And it was great seeing them draw with St Johnstone and them getting booed off. And already they've started with their Rodgers out calls, Rodgers has got to go calls, and Rodgers has lost the dressing room, and Rodgers has lost the team, and Rodgers has just lost it. And it's great to see they're kind of starting to implode a little bit. And let's hope it continues. And let's hope that we can add to their woes by beating them on Sunday and really putting them in that position where they're going to turn on themselves and turn on Brendan Rodgers. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this morning, or even this afternoon, or even this evening, depending on when you've picked up this video. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please make sure you come and join us for the pod this evening at 8:30 British Standard Time with myself and Victoria. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please smash that sub, ring that notification bell. And as always, guys, there's 2 things I need you to do for me. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, remember always, we are the people.